Hey there. What we're going to do now is we're going to use the synthetic division process, and we're going to find all of the factors of a higher order polynomial using synthetic division. And now, again, it's going to be presented to you. The divisor is going to be presented to you as a factor. Okay, so we're going to talk about the formal factor theorem and then how to use the factor theorem and synthetic division to find the factors of the higher order polynomial. Okay, it does get hairy. We're going to keep it to powers of 3 and powers of 4. Okay. All right, the factor theorem says, this is the formal definition, and we've used this, okay? When a polynomial, let's call it f of x, is divided by a binomial, okay? Notice that this is always a polynomial divided by a binomial. That's when we can use synthetic division, and the remainder is 0, okay? Then this x minus a, what the binomial that we divided by, is a factor, and a, remember this is the sign flipping part, is a solution, a root, a 0, an x-intercept. Those are all different words for the same thing. So if f of a equals 0, then x minus a is a factor and r is a root. Okay, so this idea of depressing a polynomial, it's not about making it sad. It is about reducing it by a degree of 1. So whenever your divisor produces a remainder of 0, then you have the quotient polynomial is reduced by 1 and is called a depressed polynomial. Then you can use that depressed polynomial and synthetic division to keep going and find more factors, okay? So factors of the depressed polynomial are also factors of the original. Numbers that are not factors are not factors of the original. And so we're going to do repeated divisions to find the factors, okay? All right, so let's do one. Here we have given one factor of a polynomial, find the remaining factors. And I want you to list all of the factors at the end, okay? That's like part C here. We're going to list all of the factors, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do, they give us a factor. We're going to use synthetic division to decrease it to a degree 2 or a quadratic, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 5, check to make sure we're not missing any of our terms. So I have a 1, a -7, a 7, and a 15. And I'm going to do synthetic division. I'm going to bring down my 1. Bring down my 1. 1 times 5 is 5, plus -7 is -2. -2 times 5 is -10. -10 plus 7 is -3. -3 times 5 is -15. -15 plus 15 is 0. Woohoo! Okay, so we know that it's a root, so we should get a 0 here, okay? All right, so this is a factor of our original, x minus 5. So now we have x squared minus 2x minus 3. And we have to find the remaining factors of this. I would use what two numbers multiply to equal -3 and add to equal -2. Well, that's going to be -3 and 1. That multiplies to -3, and when you add it, you get -2. So I get x squared minus 3x plus x minus 3, and then I group, and I get x times x minus 3. Plus 1 times x minus 3, and then I get x minus 3, and then x plus 1. These are the remaining factors, and when it says list all of the factors, then you want to put that original one down in there that originally that you were given. And these are all of your factors, okay? Just like that. So why don't you try this one? This is your video question. When you come back, take a peek and see how you did. All right, here we go. My divisor, my factor is x plus 2, so I'm going to divide by -2. And I'm going to check my degrees. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so all my powers are there. I have 1, -1, -10, -8. I'm going to bring down my 1. And I get 1 times -2 is -2, plus -1 is -3. -3 times 2 is +6. 6 minus 10 or plus -10 is -4. -4 times 2 is +8. 8 plus -8 is 0. Woohoo! That's got to work, okay? And then we have x squared. This is my depressed polynomial. Now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to equal -4, add to equal -3. That's going to give me -4 and 1. So I'm going to do x squared minus 4x plus 1x minus 4. And that gives me x minus 4 plus 1, x minus 4. So I get x minus 4 and x plus 1. And then I want to put down my original that they gave me, which was x plus 2. These are all the factors. These are all the factors, okay? X minus 4 and x plus 1, those are the remaining factors. X plus 2 included in that list gives me all the factors. All right, one more time. Why don't you give this a whirl on the video question, see how you do, and then come back and check your work. All right, we have -3, and I'm going to check my powers. 3, 2, 1, 0. They're all there. 1, 1, -1, +15. I bring down my 1. That's -3. -3 plus 1 is -2. -2 times -3 is 6. 6 plus -1 is 5. 5 times -3 is -15. Plus 15 is 0. And so then I get x squared minus 2x plus 5. And now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 5 and add to -2, and there are none, so this cannot be factored. So my factors, all my factors are x plus 3 and then x squared minus 2x plus 5. So these are all my factors, okay? Not every quadratic can be factored, right? All right, so here's our daily assignment for tomorrow. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.